Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome back to the Ramsey Custom Shop. My name is Gary, for those of you that don't know. And I'm sitting here drinking some coffee and eating some bacon. It's Sunday morning. Hey, you may be drinking coffee too, watching this video. Maybe it's Sunday afternoon by the time you're watching this. I don't know. But anyway, I thought I'd just give you a shop update here this morning. Let you know what's going on. As you can see behind me, there's a new addition to the shop. And I've got some footage of getting this thing here. The backstory on it is a friend of mine, Walker Morgan, who is a really good fabricator, like maybe one of the best in the world at TIG welding stainless steel. I've shown some of his stuff in the past. I'm overlaying a couple of shots of it now. But he's from Birmingham, which is where I'm from, or I'm from close to there, Birmingham, Alabama. And, he does a lot of work for just some really cool cars, that come in from all over the country. Gouldsby Customs is in Birmingham as well. They do a lot of, award-winning show cars, and he does exhaust systems on a lot of those. So anyway, enough about bragging about Walker. He came across this lathe a couple of years ago. A company in Birmingham, I think, there's some kind of backstory to it. I don't know all the details of it, but basically they were getting ready to scrap it. And this and several other machines. In fact, he's got a Cincinnati horizontal mill. I don't know the vintage on it. I know it's a big, heavy machine. I don't know the details of it. But if you're interested in that, let me know. He's wanting to let it go as well. So he saved this from scrap. This company had basically pushed a bunch of old machines off out of the loading dock of this company, and they were going to be scrapped. So I feel very fortunate to have this thing. It's Jones and Lamson number 3 turret lathe, and even though it looks a little rough, the paint's faded and there's some flash rusting on it. It's of all the old machines I've got here, it is by far the nicest one. It's super good shape. So let me get the camera and I'll show you around it a little bit. All right, so let's do a little walk around. This area back here is to put your bacon and coffee on. That's how they designed it. And then, anyway, so a few, just some of the specs on this thing. This thing is a 22-inch swing over the bedways. And it is, I don't remember the actual length on it between centers or between the, the turret and the chuck. It's definitely a little bit, bigger than my little Monarch over there. But mostly, I don't really have much of a need to turn really long things, although I'm sure occasionally I would. The biggest thing is, being able to take some big cuts, heavy cuts, and in larger diameter stuff, like I showed you guys this the couple of weeks ago, but I've made a few of these right here, and just a bunch of other stuff that I've made that's bigger, that I've had to borrow the lathe at the machine shop in town, and I mean that gets old after a while having to do that. So it's nice to have this. Plus I was paying him $100 a day, which is really nothing. He's a great guy, and that's Mark at Vertex Machine. I showed the video on that. I'm sure he probably doesn't mind me coming up there. In fact, I may have to go up there this week for some stuff, because this one's not quite ready to put into action. I'm really happy with it. I mean, I just could not be more impressed with, this thing's got square ways on it, or rectangle, I guess. You normally kind of see the V ways, but this thing is super tight. I mean, it is just, well, I messed up my indicator there, but anyway, I had the indicator on it. It's got 7/10 of run out on the nose of the spindle there. Around 7 to 8/10 is what I was getting on my little thousandths indicator. I don't have a tenths indicator. I wish I had one, but basically less than a thou. Somewhere around 7/10 is what I was seeing, or 7/10,000ths. So that's really tight. And then the cross slide here is, it's just got a very tiny bit of backlash. And what I love about this is this thing is tight and has the same firmness on it, the whole way across, all the way across, all the way back. That lathe over there and Mark's lathe, when you get it out to the ends, it gets tight because you have to keep keep it tight in the center on the gibs because of the wear in the center. So, anyway, I know this has got a little bit of surface rust on it, but anyway, these are Morse taper number 4s here, and the movement on the turret is it works really well. So if you come back, you'll see it ratchet around to the next position. I'm kind of trying to do this one-handed and go back in on that operation and back again. I'll let this, got this little lock here. So anyway, you get the idea on it. Some of it I'm still, kind of learning, but like I said, I got the indicator on that, and it's 7/10. Also, the tool post here, you can see I'm missing a couple of knobs in a couple of places, but this ratchets as well. So if you have like a turning tool, chamfer tool, cut off tool or threading tool, whatever you want on it. So like, it ratchets around as well. So push it around to the next position and then lock it. And when you get that operation done, push it to the next one and lock it. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Also to be able to like turn this thing down to 30 RPMs and run a tap into it. Anyway, just really, really pleased with it. The thing weighs 6,800 pounds. Definitely the heaviest piece of machinery I've ever, dealt with or lifted. And at Walker's, I got some footage here. He had it sitting on a trailer for 2 years, and he lifted it off the trailer with his 10,000 pound lift in his shop, and then we backed my trailer underneath it. And then, once I got here, I had the crane or the wrecker company come out and lift it onto those dollies, and had a little bit of a hard time getting it pushed around on those dollies. I mean, the casters didn't seem to be bound up or anything. It's just so dang heavy, it just, but anyway, got it into place and got it down on some little discs there that are about 1 inch thick. And I need to get it leveled and, figure out does it need to be leveled and bolted down or exactly what? But anyway, I don't know. Now, the one thing that was kind of messed up on it or known to not be working is the turret, its ability to move back and forth the turret moving back and forth on the ways. It was sort of stuck in place, and I believe one of these captive plates here that right on the bottom of it was too tight. They all 4 of them were loose relatively loose except for one that was kind of tightened up on there, and it's got some lock screws on it here as well, one there and one there, and those were actually loose. But I really messed up because as I was checking everything out, the power feeds and the rapids and all that, the only way really to get this thing to move back and forth, there is no manual way to do it. The only way to do it is to engage the power feed. So I did it. I engaged the power feed on it, and it just immediately made a sort of a clunk, and I think it might have kicked itself out of gear. I don't know. But now it won't do anything. It won't engage on the power feed at all. I mean, you can put it up into that position, but it won't capture itself on the shaft and move forward or backward. So and also I noticed this is the feed rate on that power feed. Listen to the detents on these things. I mean, they are firm and very distinguished. And anyway, so it'll go all the way up into position on that one. But like all the other ones, it won't, if you move it anywhere else. So what is that telling you guys? I actually don't even know how the power feed engages. I mean, I know it's got a keyway in the shaft and it engages in that somehow. But is it got like a, is it pushing a square key down into that, or how's it actually do that? And, I'm guessing I'm going to have to pull this apart to figure that out. So, anyway, guys, let me show you a little bit more and show you it running here. It's got it, like I said, a 15 horsepower 3-phase spindle motor in it. It's internally, the oil. It's got an oil pump in here and an oil pump inside the turret. The coolant pump, you can see the belt right there is locked up on it, and it's right here. It won't move at all. So I'm guessing that the coolant, maybe was left in there, maybe had too much water in it, and has kind of rusted it on the inside. So Mike can pull that out and rebuild it. But I basically came in and turned this thing and wired it up and hit the start button, and it just fired right up. I just couldn't believe it. So we'll bump it down in 30 RPMs. I'll put it in 44. I can't get it to go into 30 right now. There it goes. I'm trying to do this with one hand. Now I may have it wired up backwards. I don't know which way it's supposed to be going. This lever, I don't know which way it's supposed to be forward and which way it's supposed to be back. There he goes. That's 365 RPMs. Oh, let's see. And we got rapids on the cross slide here, which is kind of cool. I've never owned a machine with rapids on the, or even seen a lathe with rapids on that. Maybe some have it. There's not a rapid on the carriage though. So let me hit the power on it. So to me it sounds really good, and the ways, they're not all beat up and chowdered up like some machines that you see now. The Chuck's got some dings in it and stuff, but the only thing about this machine I wish it had that it doesn't, now I have two lathes and neither one have it, is it doesn't have a lead screw. You can't do threading on it. It does have this attachment right here, which I believe is some kind of threading attachment, but I don't know how to use it. I don't know anything about it really, and so I need to look into that and find out what's going on with that and how do you actually use it. So, but let me know what you guys think about the power feed, or the power feed not engaging on that. Also, I have got to get these replaced and make sure my fluid levels are all good. I ordered some pieces, or an 1/8" piece of acrylic to make some new ones of those. Every one I could find are kind of expensive. They sell the whole assembly on McMaster, but it's like $45 and comes with a new flange, and I need 4 of them basically, or 3 of them really. So now I'm guessing maybe, I don't know if that's one goes right there or what, but anyway, so you see there's one there and that one's leaking, and then that one and that one are both missing. So I don't want to do anything with it until I get that, get those on there and make sure I got good fluids everywhere. And then I ordered a couple of adapters for Morse taper 2 to 4, and also just a more MT4 Jacobs drill chuck. I think it's an 18N. So that, and then I need to figure out something on tooling. It's got one, 1¼ inch tool holder here. So I need to get a few more of those. So if anybody's got any extra tool holders laying around, they want to work out some kind of a deal on, or a trade, or some kind of plasma cutting, let me know what you got on that. Because, all the stuff for this lathe is 1/2 inch. So, can't use it on this. I mean, you could use it on there, I guess, technically, but it's just be defeating the purpose. I mean, that's one of the weak points over there is the actual, tooling itself being rigid enough. So it's got these reservoirs down here for the coolant, and there's a couple of covers that go on that, and then there's the motor cover. And then it's also got a big enclosure that goes around the back of it, and I don't have it in here right now. But anyway, here's the electrical panel. Looks like it's I don't know, it's a little bit, like something's happened in there. It's got this slimy stuff all around it, and I don't know if that was somebody's attempt to seal it, with some kind of goo or what. But I was going to show you this. This is a war era machine from the 40s, and you see U.S. Navy emblem on there. So, and you see a lot of gray on it. I think the gray is underneath the green. Somebody's painted it green at some point. And then this cabinet back here is blue. So I don't know if that was blue originally, or somebody painted blue over the gray. But anyway, I think my plans for this one is going to be to not do a complete mechanical rebuild on it, but to pull this turret off and pull the carriage off so that I can get in there and give this thing a really good cleaning and put a nice, cool paint job on it. Because it's right here when you walk in the door. It's not something, yes, I'd like to use it, but before I start, getting relying on it, go ahead and get it restored. Fix up the knobs, fix the glass, everything, the little things that are missing. It's got a cracked knob right there. It's missing this knob. I need to replace that. And then everything that's, these castings here, get those, cleaned up really good, and brightened up. And, yeah. And then just, just kind of go from there. And that way, if I have it all off, I can get to everything good to get it, get it painted and get it looking good and get it back together. So anyway, that's my plan. Also, one other thing, it's pretty cool right here. It's got all these adjustable stops. And as you rotate the turret around, those get clocked, or actually, I guess those get clocked when you rotate that. And then, these right here, I've got more of those that go in here, that set the different depths, so for your different operations. So I'm looking forward to getting a job in here I can set up on this. But anyway, guys, that's a lot of chatting on that. As far as anything else, I've just trying to clear out some backlog of stuff. I've got a Michigan Wolverines thing I'm working on here. This is 36 inches, and I got to figure out some colors on that because the guy, instead of using the candy gold and blue, he wants the actual real, Michigan color match. So that's creating a little bit of an extra challenge. And then I sold one of those table kits. I've been working on this the last couple of days. There's about 100 holes that get drilled in it, and then about 64 or maybe 72 of them, I can't remember what it is, get drilled and tapped. And those are 5/16 24 fine thread. So anyway, that is it. And then I got I don't know, like 2 or 3 other metal art pieces I'm working on. One for 56 rat bug. I haven't really started on that, but I've got to figure that out. And it'll be up next after I get this one and get that table kit out of here. As far as the paint booth, let me walk outside and just show you guys. You might want to see out there. I let this kind of get away from me here toward the end of the summer. It just grew up like crazy. And So I got it here yesterday and started mowing that. I got a visitor coming from one of the guys that's here in town for that Lindale meetup. You guys have probably seen something about that, Lindale, Texas, 42 Fab, Richard Day. He's in town for that and wanted to come by, so he's coming by. Well, by the time you see this, he will have already been by. But anyway, I hauled that 6,800 pound lathe on this trailer, which is only, you know, it's only got 7,000 pound axles. I mean, 3,500 each. So it's rated for 7,000 pounds, but then you take the trailer weight, you know, which is probably at least 1,000, 1,200. So really, technically, all that should be sitting up there is about, you know, maybe 5,000, 5,500, something in that range. And I had it on these 4x4s. I had some more up here, and you can see that it put a bow in there. And we had the 4x4s, and we're able to actually get it to sit right on the cross members going across. But these car hauler trailers aren't really designed to have weight out in the middle of them. They're designed to, you know, have weight around the, you know, the four corners of a car. So, but 700 miles from Birmingham to Texas, didn't have any problems with it. In fact, once I got it, you know, kind of got comfortable with it and got going down the road a ways, I was going, you know, keeping up with traffic, going 75, no problem at all. Pulled straight, pulled good, you know, didn't seem to be using a lot of fuel, you know, a little bit more than normal, but, you know, overall not too bad. So anyway, guys, that's it. I'll see you on the next video.